Hello, and welcome to today's daily run. And it looks like we're starting at the Wasteland today, which is always nice. They usually have a lot of pseudo legendaries and dragon types and really strong bonds, so that's pretty nice. We start off with a Drampa, so we already have a dragon type right off the bat, which is not amazing because I already know I'm gonna have to fight against my will to catch everything because there are things like Dratini's and Goomy. I just caught a Trapinch that's gonna be Flygon eventually, which is Dragon type. Axel right here, I'm gonna catch it as well because it gets Dragon Dance by level up. So it's an amazing sweeper and it's pure Dragon type, which is nice to resist a lot of stuff. Since we don't know, as always, what's the final boss gonna be. I mean, as always, for the title and thumbnail, you already know it's gonna be Yveltal, but, well, I didn't know that at this point, so thank God I found the TM for Rock Smash. I highly recommend you pick that up if you find it. Otherwise, I have absolutely no idea how you're supposed to get through this Duraludon from the first trainer because it hits like a truck, it has Dragon types moves, and it even like lowers your attack when it attacks with Breaking Swipe. So I really don't know what you're supposed to do there other than grabbing that Rock Smash TM, which thankfully we did. So the other Pokemon is like a Bite. Like, it's not exactly weak, but we managed to get through it with ease. I mean, our Halucha died, but I don't think it's possible to get through this like with 0 deaths with this starting roster anyway. I mean, if you have a lot of luck, anything is possible, but I just don't see that happening right here. There isn't like a lot of room for luck if you don't have any moves to attack that are super effective or at least neutral, because aerial ace. Anyway, enough about Duraludon. Thank God we only see it once in this run, I think. By now, I already have like 87 dragon types, so I will eventually get rid of them. Don't worry, I won't go into the final boss with a full team of dragons. But since it's Yveltal, you can kind of do it. It has Dragon Rush, you should look out for that, which is obviously super effective against dragons. But other than that, take your chances. Everything learns Dragon Dance. There are a lot of cool mons. Dratini right here was really tough not to catch because I really like it. I'm trying to catch mons that like will evolve and have a secondary typing that I do not have already on the team. That's why I grabbed Trapinch. I grabbed Axel because I love dragons. I will get rid of Drampa eventually because it's slow. It's not as strong as the other options I have. And, well, that's about it actually. I like it as a Pokemon, but, well, I just want to make my life easier, so why not? Halucha actually has been putting in a lot of work in this run. Right here, I lowered this Drillbur to catch it because I figure I can add a ground type that will eventually also be a steel type. I get rid of Drampa because, well, I already mentioned it before. And oh, here is Axel learning Dragon Dance, so it learns it at a really low level actually. Thank God we find a max potion so I can max potion Halucha. There are a lot of Mudbrays here. Like, I don't really recommend you taking it to the final boss just because its stab won't hit it since it's a flying type, like Yveltal, I mean. But it's always a nice mon to have and it learns like other type moves as well. So if it is your preference and you really like it, go ahead and do you. And thank God the second biome is the Badlands because that first trainer was hell, like for the run. And I feel like we need a little bit of a break, and most things here are ground type and we can just be immune to that. Here's the second trainer of the run, and nothing really to write home about. Honestly, they made it in such a way that Halucha can pretty much deal with it by its own. Not in my case because it was at a really low HP, but anyway, Spoink evolves. I do not teach it Teeter Dance over Confuse Ray just because it hits the allies as well on double battles and stuff. And Bagon is evolving. I will tell you right now, I will get rid of it eventually. I already have Flying and Dragon, so I don't really see the point of keeping Salamence. I mean, it's a Salamence, so that should be enough to keep it. But with all the Dragon types and don't really feel like it right now, so that's pretty much why. This trainer has like 2 Machokes Like, I don't really know the point of that kind of teams, but I have a lot of dragons, so not really want to talk. And finally, Excadrill learns Dig. Finally, his stab move. Other than, you know, Metal Claw. I mean, ground stab. And I finish off with Halocha. Not really a lot of trouble. Almost got knocked down by the Sandstorm, so I figured after this Rhyhorn, I'll probably have to switch because it will probably die, or it will just die right now to Sandstorm. And Trapinch evolves into Vibrava. I can tell you right now that I won't be keeping it for long. Like, I won't even have a Flagon, just because Red have Ground and Dragon. As I said, I'm trying to replace the team as I find, you know, same type mons that are good, but not Dragon as well. Just because I was really scared that the final boss was gonna be like Xerneas or something Fairy. Or Steel, I don't know. Like maybe we were gonna see like Dialga or Palkia as well. You know, you never know. I was afraid that Dragon types would be the bane of my run. But don't worry about it as much as I have been because, well, you already know who the boss is, so. Yeah, a lot of Rhyhorns, Mudsdales, not really a lot of variety. So out of the mons I saw, the ground types I mean, on the Badlands, I would say if you didn't catch Trapinch, you're not planning on having a Flygon, I would go for Excadrill. If not Excadrill, I will go for Mudsdale. But I strongly recommend Excadrill over Mudsdale just because of the steel typing. It can resist flying types, like flying type moves from Yveltal pretty okay, I would say. At least you should be able to get a hit off. Anyway, here's boss from floor 20 and his Grant. We have a monster in Halocha, so we don't really have to worry about it as much. I just switch out not to die to the Sandstorm, and actually Vibrava ends up finishing everything with Bulldoze, so at least I got a little bit of screen time before I toss it. Which is, you know, sad because Flagon is one of my favorite mons of all times, like out of all dragons and whatnot. It might be because I really enjoyed like the whole region, you know. Even though Silver was my first game, I started at Gen 2. I was a little bit older when Gen 3 came out, so I, you know, knew how to do things a little better as a human in general. So it made it a little bit of a more pleasant experience, I would say. Yeah, as I said, Vibrava doesn't stay on the team for long. I already replaced it with another ground type, which is not ideal, but I'm really doing this for the dark typing. And also, at least it's not Dragon, you know. Now we have two ground types on the team, but I don't think that's gonna be that much of an issue. Right here, I will probably get rid of Shelgon for Maractus just because I see the Leech Seed opportunity. And it's also a special attacker, and my team is lacking on that a little bit. I have really strong physical attackers, but it's nice to have at least one mon that can do other stuff. Also, a lot of support moves, which is nice. And Krokorok is gonna evolve into Crocodile, and I will spoil for you like right here that I won't be keeping it either, just because I immediately find something better that is not ground, but is dark as well. Don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, it's Drapion. I will catch this Drapion and replace Crocodile with it. Just because I don't need two ground types, and you know, I was really fearing the Fairy type on the final boss, so I figured, you know, at least have something neutral that can hit it super effective, like doesn't take super effective moves from it. Now right here, I was reading like the description of Flame Press because I'm really skeptical about that move, and it does end up biting me in the butt later because, well, I just prefer straight up, you know, one single type moves that won't put you in situations that you could be, you know, you could beat them on if it wasn't a dual type move. Anyway, I teach it anyway just because Aerial Ace is not like strong enough for the final boss and whatnot. Right here we have the third trainer of the run with the battery that I will gladly kill because it's annoying, and I go for Dig for Magnezone just to one-shot it quickly, nice and quick, clean, not to lose that much HP. Finally learned Drill Run. I hate two-turn moves like Dig and Fly, even though they're pretty good. You know, they have strong attack and whatnot. I consider catching this Darmanitan, but nah. It uses Belly Drum in my face, and I do not want to mess around with that, so I pretty much just KO it. And right here, I regret getting Flying Press because Halocha learns High Jump Kick. Now, essentially, I have two high hitting moves that are fighting and sometimes flying. So yeah, bad choices, but I'm not really familiar with Hawlucha that much, so it's a great mon actually, but you know, haven't used it that much. We are going to floor 28 right here. I grabbed the X accuracy just because I just learned high jump kick. I don't want to crash and die, so we see another Maractus. If you haven't caught the first one and you feel like you need something decent, you can go ahead and grab it. I will tell you right now, grass types not the best for the final fight, so don't try to like copy the team exactly as it is. Like try to make some alterations as I suggest them. Like you don't really need the grass type, you know, don't go with a lot of dragons and whatnot. Pretty much the basic stuff. Now the boss for floor 30 is gonna be Gory, which, you know, expected in a desert, rock types and whatnot. Not really anything I would say that is necessarily hard, just because high jump kick is so ridiculous on Hawlucha. Like, you know, I don't even have to explain it. You're just gonna have to, you know, see it by yourself. It pretty much wins the fight by its own. I don't even know if the Sandstorm gets to take it out in the end. I think it goes down like right here, but well, it pretty much took out all of the mons. Come on. It's like it survived with 5 HP. It's not even surviving. Like at that point, are you really alive? Don't think so. I got burned, but so did Gordy. So things are even now, and we are at the Ancient Ruins. A lot of rock types. Should have taken the opportunity to catch a rock type here, but rock, honestly, not the type I always think about when I go to the final boss. I rather have steel, like, for example, Excadrill that is ground steel and learn rock type moves than to have a rockmon. But in this run specifically, not a bad idea. A lot of psychic types, don't go for it, don't fall for this. It's pretty much bait for the final boss. Just, you know, don't go for it. Like, you won't be able to do anything. Grumpy did nothing in this run. I think it went, like, I sent it in 2 battles maybe, or maybe 3 or 4, like, since it evolved. I don't even think I used it like once when it wasn't evolved. But I really like the mon, and I like it that it's tanky as well. So I take the opportunity to mess a little bit with Echo Pressure right here, risking the Psych Up copying me in something good, but Hypno doesn't seem to be able to hit me. So we have a trainer right here. Nothing really much to say. It's a psychic type trainer, and we have a monster on Drapion. So I almost took Sky Attack, but as I said, don't like 2-turn moves, especially when you're gonna be vulnerable like Solar Beam and Sky Attack and whatnot, because at least Dig and Fly take you off the field, so you don't take damage. I mean, if you're not hit by Earthquake when you're digging. Now right here, I don't really want the Soludo just because, you know, the natures are not the best. A lot of them mess with defenses and speed, so I don't really want to mess around with that. So I just, you know, take the Super Potion, which is never a bad option. You can never go wrong in healing, honestly. Right here, I was waiting for this mushroom. I don't know why I thought Hawlucha learned something better, like Flying Move. But we started with Hawlucha and it only had Air Release. We pretty much level it up, so if it doesn't have anything that starts with, it won't have anything decent by now. I take the opportunity to teach Toxic to Drapion, just because Toxic moves on Poison Wounds never miss. And, you know, as I've said like 3 billion times, we never know which boss we're gonna be fighting, so it's always nice to have backup plans. And I do that with Leech Seed and Toxic. Won't even matter as much, honestly. I don't even think I end up using it. Anyway, boss from 440 is State. And really easy boss. You know, I should have healed my Drapion a little more if I could, or at least preserved it. Just because it would have been, you know, easier. But this Gallade really doesn't really scare me. It seems to be switching out a lot. Maractus goes down just because I'm tired of switching out. I want to catch that Zatsu with Night Slash with Drapion, so, you know, it ends up dying right here, but it took most of the team out, and we have a Hexorus on the back, so I pretty much just Dragon Claw everything. And everything pretty much dies because it's at very low HP, so on to floor 41 we go. We are at the final stretch, no more healing for free. So we gotta try to preserve us as much as possible, PP and HP, and that's why I start setting up Dragon Dances as Drapion takes out the mons, so I can already have set up Hexorus to just sweep the first 5 floors. I mean 4, because I'm not sweeping this one. But, you know, just to make things easier and faster. I love Dragon Dance so much, oh my god. Like, I even take the Citrus and give it to Hexorus because I'm thinking I'm gonna be using it a lot, at least in these final 10 floors. The other mushroom, I don't really need it. I take a Lychee Berry and give to Hexorus to raise its attack if it gets at low enough HP. So, as I said, I start to stack up like Lumberries and everything that can help me on Hexorus, and take the opportunity, since I'm sweeping, to try to get the best items I can while keeping Hexorus alive and with PP enough to do stuff. So that's pretty much my go-to move at any run, really. Just get a strong mon, set it up, sweep through everything, and try to get as better roll items as you can. Even though I have absolute no control over that, I still think it's one of the best strategies. And right here I get the TM for double wing beat, so I don't have to go with Flying Press for the final boss, which actually doesn't end up mattering at all, but oh well. Right here we had a Lilligant, and the final one before the boss, I tried to get something decent. I cannot. That Golden Punch would have come in handy earlier. Oh well, just grab the Lum, and here's Yveltal. I immediately outrage, and you know, actually thought I was gonna go down on the first Dragon Rush. Ends up getting 2 moves off, and Drapion finishes it off because it misses everything. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's daily run. Bye bye.